Hello and welcome to Chapter 227 of the DC Alliance podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing today?
I just got back from Deadpool Wolverine. I'm doing pretty good.
Quite jealous, Joe.
I'm
Quite
not
jealous.
trying to make you jealous, and I apologize for that. But
No,
if
you got to express how much you love it. That's the main thing.
if you're watching us right now, turn us off. Go watch Deadpool Wolverine.
No,
That's
listen.
gonna be better. No,
Make sure you watch Deadpool Wolverine before Marvel Alliance goes live.
Definitely need
because
to watch it
they
before
normally
Marvel
go
Alliance
live
tomorrow.
tonight, but they won't be going live. They'll be going live tomorrow night at 9-10 p.m. Eastern time. So, like me, make sure you get the Deadpool and Wolverine film in before Marvel Alliance. I have not had a chance to watch it yet. Joe, I'm incredibly jealous, but everyone is saying glowing things, so I can't wait to sneak away to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, we're not going to talk about it here because we're not Marvel Alliance. But what we are going to talk about is a new movie coming out later this year.
Should have did the first couple minutes of it like they did with Aquaman. I think they did with Aquaman 2, or they did it with one of the films, or maybe it was a trailer or something.
Did they? Well, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, trying to see if I can kind of roll it into DC stuff.
We don't want to piss off Chris. Let's just keep going forward.
Yeah, I mean, okay, fine. There's a dog in this one. There's dogs in Man of Steel. How's that? Anyway,
there you go.
How you doing, Travis?
I'm doing well, Joe. Like I said, modest than not being able to watch Deadpool and Wolverine today. I plan to, but the best plans go awry.
You'll get
I'll
there.
get to watch
You'll
it
get
this
there.
weekend. My parents, who are living 5 provinces over, will get to. So I'll get to see them tomorrow. They get in tomorrow morning. They're going out to my hometown. We'll be going out there on Saturday. So yeah, the plan is to watch this film tomorrow. Besides that, everything's been okay. Good week, nice weather. Nothing to complain about.
Warner Meg Donnelly is dating Drake Rogers from Watchers. I don't know who any of those.
I don't.
I know Meg. But
Meg Donnelly. I know who that is.
Drake. Let me look up Drake Roger. While
Roger,
you
Roger.
go through our show notes.
Do the network plugs. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 7 shows in total. On Mondays, bi-weekly is Ranger Alliance. On Tuesdays is a walk through the multiverse. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. On Saturdays is DC Alliance. And Sundays monthly is World's Finest True Believers. Star Wars Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Time. And DC Alliance goes live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All 3 of those shows also have their own podcast feed. Search DC Alliance, Marvel Alliance, or Star Wars Alliance if you just want DC content, Marvel content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 7 shows on the GUA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to the GUA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. $1 tier is basically a tip jar you like what we're doing and you want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. You get your ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through all the DC films through the years. Our most recent entry, Superman Returns, is up for the patrons now. That was a fun discussion with Joe. A lot of the action still holds up incredibly well. Just story... Yeah, to be something to be desired. So we talk about all that and much more. So check that out, patrons. We also had the Marvel Alliance guys, Chris and Brent, doing their Tales from the House of X, talking about their favorite Fox Marvel X-Men films. They've done the first 2 Deadpools. They've done Logan and the Wolverine. So be on the lookout for more of those. We also have Joe's Multiverse Minutes, where Joe is doing his Disney deep dives, not only reviewing a Disney film, but giving you some cool behind the scenes fun facts / tidbits. Joe, what's on deck for that?
A movie.
Okay. It will be a movie.
A movie I found that probably shouldn't have watched, but I did.
Oh, you found the movie you were talking about before.
I found Song of the South. Song of the South will be up next on my.
Oh my God, that will be
dives.
an interesting one, patrons. So check out that. So Joe checked out the film, so you don't have to. That's that falls under one of those. I think
you'll have to listen.
Oh, I definitely will. We thank everyone that's a patron. If you're not a patron, if you take a quick 30 to 60 seconds to rate and view the podcast on your podcast app of choice, helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. Okay, Joe, that pretty much.
So this is Drake Roger. And Iggy corrected, he was in Winchester's, which that makes more sense. He definitely looks like a CW boy. Yeah.
There's nothing in there that I've seen him in from the bottom movies and shows.
Quiet in Town, Mantra, Not Alone. He's been in Not Alone. I don't know what that movie is. The show
No,
is.
sorry,
Obviously,
Drake.
I mean, it's all good.
Congrats,
Whatever.
I guess.
Good. I mean, good for him though. Like,
yeah. But we're not here to talk about Drake rappers rappers today, Iggy. We're here to talk about a myriad of things for DC.
do appreciate the info though, Iggy.
So we're here to talk about Joker, Folie Due. Joker 2, I'm just going to be calling it from now on. The trailer dropped this week. So without further ado, let's cue it up. And
I just saw this already in the theaters on a big screen.
Which
cool.
Again, that's I can't wait.
Feel like I'm
so it's in the Deadpool. Let's be honest. Nothing that your theater experience. My theater experience is never like yours. My theater is pretty basic. we might not have that trailer. Maybe we will.
Fair.
Okay.
Probably. You'll see.
Okay. Let's gear it up as we open here.
You're right, Iggy. I am.
2 years after what happened in Joker 1. I do like how we open on Arthur Fleck, Joe, and he's still as crazy as ever. We don't know if this is like where this is taking him. This is definitely not the start of the film for sure.
No, I'm wondering if they're taking him to the trial, because obviously this scene right here, it's got crowds, and we do see him at the trial later in a suit. So I'm wondering if this is just a scene, him going to the trial.
So one thing I gotta say is like it hasn't gotten any better in Gotham, clearly.
No, God, no.
Just 2 years ago.
It's Gotham. Come on.
Oh, all the client masks. His Joker has definitely become quite the sensation.
Yep.
And here's our first glimpse of Harley, or Lee, as she's going to be first called in the film.
Okay.
Yes. I think she gets her Harley Quinn in the film. And this is interesting because this is something that I noticed he did in the first film to Zazie Beetz' character, and she did it back to him. So
allegedly did back to him.
There's one thing that I am curious about here too, Joe, that I'll talk to you about when we're done.
I guess actually she did to him and he did to her, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, she is getting, I don't want to say obsessed, but she even says it in the trailer. The minute she saw him, that there was like a connection that she felt.
I'm curious, like, because we had the scene here where she is singing with the inmate. She looks like she is one.
Yeah.
So could this be like a flashback scene of maybe just the events that happened in Joker 1, and that inspires her and ends up
possibly
puts her in that place?
Probably. Like, I guarantee that's going to be her breaking into that could cause her to get arrested. More than likely, maybe.
I'm curious, or like there's several things here. Like how did she start the fire? How did she get access to this stuff? It seems like she isn't in here like Joker's in here.
Well, the fact that Joker's not isolated is interesting. You figure he would be isolated because of what he did, who he is.
How's he allowed to just like smoke and watch TV? Is he that big of a celebrity here?
It's the 80s.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, everyone's allowed to smoke in the 80s.
Which is why she'd be able to get hold of matches.
They do ask, do you still think you're a star? And things have really picked up. The cops versus the Jokers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the big lights here and them dancing.
So that's in their mind.
Yeah, I was going to say, the thing about this film is just there is points where you're like, I'm not sure if this is actually happening or is this in his mind, because of especially how the first one ended with the Zazie Beetz of it all. You're like,
like this trial, like the him right here. I don't know if that is
real or not.
Probably real.
Some of this is like, I don't know if this is
like that's probably not them dancing, but them jumping on the fence maybe. But then again, maybe them dancing is. This is obviously going to be in the mind,
in their heads. I assume all the musical numbers are in their heads.
It has to be, right? I will say though that Lady Gaga looks great. Like,
I think she's going to be
so
fantastic.
excited.
I think she's going to be like Oscar worthy in her role. I do think so. And yeah, this I did get vibes of like what's that one with like oh, it's a book, big book. During the asylum, there's the big chief guy. One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. God, I haven't seen that in forever.
it's forever. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched the movie.
So the
And then
interesting thing, the trailer in the movie theaters did not have him turning around. I don't know why, but they had this, but not him turning around.
so that again, that's pretty interesting. Uh, it's like that's pretty interesting to me that uh, I don't know the way that she's portrayed here. I don't know if she has day pass, is she in voluntarily, because she seems to have a bit more freedom than others.
It
And
does look that way, doesn't it?
yes, which made like first I was thinking she had to be like working there, but I don't think so because remember the other little teaser thing we got where he smiles and puts the lipstick on,
Yeah.
and
Well,
she's on the other
she does
side
it
of
on,
that
yeah.
glass. So
So
I
I don't
mean,
know.
that's
That
what.
could be so. That could probably be one of those things where she is outside, goes to visit him, and becomes infatuated with him to the point where she does find some way to get in to like get captured and get into the asylum. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so I'm interested. This seems a bit more. Optimistic is a weird word to say here, but the somberness of the first film, and with you only getting basically that one big act payoff, this seems like
Sure,
you're going to get multiple payoffs in multiple acts here.
they're well. So I mean, him like the action scenes. It seems like him in the courtroom taking the gavel and striking the judge. I don't know if that's going to be like if that's him thinking he's doing that or he actually does it. I feel like this could be him actually doing it. So I don't know. Like I think I could definitely see it also being one big scene toward the end of the movie, while the
Hmm.
rest is little pockets. You
Even the
know?
musical numbers, though, like I'm getting into those, but the two of them, like that one on the roof, that was interesting to me. Especially
Yeah,
if you break it up with good film, good story, that stuff can work really well. So again, it's something different, which like with the show we're going to review after we take our first break. Uh, I applaud when people take a different step, and I didn't think we needed a sequel, but I will stand here and say I do think was the right decision. You can admit when you're wrong. This was a smart decision. You don't have many of those at WBD. We'll talk about that a little later. Uh,
yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. I was also kind of surprised when they announced this. I'm like, why? But the more I
mhm.
see from it, the more excited I'm getting.
Yeah. So, Joe, one little fun fact, two fun facts. One is Joker 2's final runtime is 2 hours and 18 minutes.
Seems a little long if I'm being honest, but
Hmm.
if it's a
Solid
good
two
story,
hours would be
yeah,
nice, but
yeah, exactly. Like if it's a solid story though, if it's a good story, the runtime doesn't matter. But that's the big
and
thing; it has to have a good story.
and Harry Latley is rumored to play Harvey Dent in Joker 2. I know the closed caption on the trailer when Joker's in the car and someone calls him a monster, it says Harvey Dent.
So that was somebody on the radio, if I'm
Yeah, well,
correct.
somebody in that scene calls him a
Yes.
monster, and it says
Um,
Harvey Dent on the bottom.
yeah. So I don't know if that means anything.
That would make sense too, though. He would be the next logical person to come in that you wouldn't have to make him fantastical, and he could just be the one pursuing Joker, and that works for giving you a bit more Batman mythos without really having to have any. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you don't have to show Bruce. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just have Harvey Dent going after him here and that in the trial and stuff, and that's all you need.
I'm down for
So
that.
yeah, and uh, that pretty much wraps up the Joker talk. We will take our first ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad supported network. We don't pick the ads or volume. We'll give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe, let's get into my adventures with Superman season 2, the season finale. I think it's called My Adventures with Supergirl.
I said yes earlier, Iggy, when just before we started doing the trailer. You are correct. I'm definitely trying to do that. Not gonna put it on the screen. Just saying.
Yeah, I was right. My Adventures with Supergirl. So yeah, this is pretty basic plot, like I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Joe
So
saw this
this one.
yesterday, and I saw this today.
Well, I mean, I saw it the other day, like Sunday or something. So I don't
Ooh.
remember completely all of it, but this was a fun episode. Obviously the build up the entire season, especially the last 3 or 4 episodes in general, was Brainiac taking over Superman, Supergirl realizing what's going on and coming back to help. And obviously Brainiac still has, a card up his sleeve where he can control Supergirl, and it comes down to Superman along with Jimmy and Lois to finally, break her out of the spell. And that was an amazing scene. That was really, really sweet. Really love that. I keep forgetting because it's the beginning adventures of
Mm-hmm.
Superman. Like when they were all scared about getting thrown into the sun, and I'm like, yeah, the sun powers you up. What are you doing? I keep forgetting that no, these guys don't know that yet. So that was really enjoyed that. I thought that was really good.
They actually got me into that, thinking like, "Oh no, like it's not good." Even though like the comic knowledge would be like, "No, that's great, that powers you up." But
Yeah,
no, I just gotta say, I absolutely adore this show. This
it's
show is made
great.
with such love and care. The animation style is unique to Superman, and it works so well.
Yeah.
Each of the characters have arcs. They're not just sitting there doing nothing. They all contribute. It's not like, no offense to Jimmy in Superman the animated series, but he was pretty just,
One
oh
note.
gee, look, or geez, one
Yeah.
note guy. Jimmy in this is probably my favorite iteration of Jimmy Olsen.
Dude, Jimmy in this is like, I may be like just the photographer, but I'm also getting my hands dirty. Like
Yes, and full
I'm not gonna
on,
stop.
and I always got his friends back.
Yep.
Again, I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the Kara and Jimmy pairing. And the Lois and Clark relationship, it's been great. It's not too much in the drama side of things. It's a lot of supporting them. They had a little bit of speed bump, but that is understandable with Lois's father there. So all
Which I was
that
about to
works
bring it
great.
up. What did you think of Sam Lane coming in and helping Superman?
I love it because it not only is not out of nowhere, because Sam's been playing this for a while. He has group name and everything
Yeah.
for the group of individuals, and it ties right into the greater point of Superman this entire 2 seasons, not the killing, being like standing up, being good, and
Yep.
all the villains that most all the villains he's encountered over the past 2 seasons end up helping him, changing their mind about him, including Sam Lane. I could have used one last scene with Sam Lane and Superman after all the chaos of
Just a
him
nice little thank
shaking
you.
hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is probably my only criticism of this episode. I'm being honest with you, Joe. That was
Okay.
one of the things that I think you definitely missed the opportunity there. Now there might be story reason why that we'll get going forward, but for right now, I wish that we would have got that. But again, this was a uh, almost a 10 out of 10 finale for me. This was a great season. This improved. This did everything that just the first season did well. It just ratcheted it up to 11.
Yeah.
And again, I loved it. It went a little bit further in Superman lore. Didn't go too far in DC lore to not make the story about Superman or not want us to see Superman in action. So again, I thought this was such a great show, and I'm impressed. I can't wait for season 3.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
So, before we stop talking about this and speculate a little bit about season 3, I want to talk about some of the cool things that we got here. The Brainiac basically being undestructible Terminator was awesome. Like I love the voice too.
Yeah.
Thought this was a pretty cool interpretation of Brainiac.
It's a I mean, especially Brainiac 1.
Mhm.
This is very, I don't say basic, but this is very Brainiac 1. He'll transfer his consciousness over and over and over again until he gets it's very Ultron-esque, if you will, but it worked. This one really worked for him.
It works really well too because it ties in that he's actually the one that destroyed Krypton in this case. It's not them uh like ruining their core. He comes out and says like they wanted like Jor-El was like behind the scenes doing peace talks
Yeah,
and wanted them to stop the war, and I destroyed the entire planet. Then,
yeah,
so
because it's like that would have been not
that's my
good for
primary
me.
function. I wouldn't
Yeah,
have had to do anything then. So
yeah,
yeah, I really enjoyed how they tied all this in, and the Kara and Superman fight was
dude, it was
fantastic.
great. It was great.
I'll tell you one thing I was wrong about though. I really thought he was going to use that blue power glowing thing that we've
We had
shown
talked
for the
about that.
last,
Yeah,
and he didn't. That's not what he used at all. He just used the smarts. I thought the animation when he was
yep,
flying away from the missiles, all that was fantastic too. I just can't say good things about this show,
it's a
Joe.
great show.
Like
So yeah, love the show. Really, just love it. Iggy, what do you mean by Golden Boy? What's Golden Boy?
I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. Okay, he'll get back to us.
So, uh, what do you think? Because Lois turns down going to Gotham,
Yes,
so we won't get Superman regularly visiting Gotham, but we did get the Gotham call a couple times this season. What do you think season 3 can be about, Joe? Do we think we can go deeper with like Darkseid or Zod, or can we show more DC heroes?
I would be. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in one hero. Doesn't have to be. I'm not gonna say Batman. Green Arrow would be a decent one, but
Hmm.
I know Green Arrow is one that they tend to, go to the pool for all the time. Flash would be another good one, but same situation. You could also just get some obscure ones. Like it doesn't have to be the big names.
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be Wonder Woman. I don't think it's gonna be Batman. Um, I don't know. Like just try Booster Gold is sticking out of my head, but because we're getting a booster thing in the future, I don't think it'll be Booster. Um, but no, like they can definitely bring in one hero. I just don't know who it could be.
I think they've earned the right to put whoever they want in here. I think the
Oh yeah,
show's good enough
100%.
now. Like Harley Quinn got head carte blanche to put any hero and villain in. I don't know why any of these shows don't have that if they're set in the DC universe. They don't have to be a DCU show. James Gunn even tweeted out like or threads out. Uh, I like all the animation's going to be done by DC Studios, but it doesn't have to all be DCU.
I think the difference is Harley is comedic from start to finish, so having the heroes in there, it's not ruining anything. Whereas this is building a story, an actual story. Not that Harley wasn't, but like there's how many times was Harley like had a one-off episode?
Yeah.
And when was the last time we saw Doctor Psycho?
I mean, give me a Batman. Uh, Show me Batman. I'd love to see Batman in this just for the
It'd be
way he's
great.
drawn and animated. Like, yes,
But
in any of the JL heroes, but like Joe said, I'll take obscure heroes. Him
yeah,
encountering some obscure heroes, and or maybe him inspiring some heroes after
like
his
that'd
event.
be kind of, yes. Ooh, we can get like the Guardian or
We already
Crime
got
Buster.
Steel, who was nice showing
We
back
got
up too.
Steel, which is great.
I enjoyed that. I
Um,
did enjoy too a couple other things that got a comment on that will be shown in season 3. Slade Wilson worked for Lex Luthor now.
yep.
Amanda Waller's on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be fan. I'm assuming now she's going to probably start Checkmate.
That's a good possibility. Yeah, because not like Task Force X is gone, so she can't do Suicide Squad. So yeah, checkmate might be a possibility. I'm assuming Sam Lane got put back in charge of task force. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Also, how cute it was! Super cute seeing Kara meet Mom Pa Kent
That was
and
really
vice
nice.
versa. That was
Yeah,
super cute, and the catch, all of it was just great. It just
yeah,
they understand the assignment, and I'm loving this show. I can't wait for it to come back.
agreed. All
Okay,
right, so
Joe.
Iggy says Golden Boy is an anime. I did not know
Okay,
that. I'll have to go check that out.
so before we get into the news, uh,
You
I want to talk for a minute about
go
how
ahead.
terrible WBD is looking right now
So shocked.
because they are essentially uh, going up against the NBA. Now, the WB has had the NBA for the past 40 years. David Zaslav said to his stockholders and interviewers that Turner really didn't, WB really didn't need NBA, and they would be mindful of their bids. WB stock prices right now is $7.60. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
So I should
Uh,
get in right now, is what you're saying.
I probably wouldn't. I made 60 cents. So they sent out a little thing. They have the NBA. They had exclusive negotiating rights. They basically did not offer anything close to what the other packages would be. NBA reached deals with ESPN, who's owned by Disney, NBC, Peacock, and Amazon. So now WBD is trying to exercise their match option to match the contract with Amazon. So first of all, it just shows your great planning that you didn't think these 82 games, the playoffs, all that meant anything, but you have these streaming sites here going to town bidding to get these because this is appointment viewing for a lot of people. It's what kept cable going for a long time. So WBD basically cut off its leg, and now they put out this statement basically saying we have matched the Amazon offer as we have a contractual right to do, and do not believe the NBA can reject it. In doing so, they are rejecting the many fans who continue to show their unwavering support for our best in class coverage delivered through the full combined reach of WBD's video first distribution platforms. So again, they're trying to talk about their ability to reach people more than Amazon Prime, which is absolutely outrageous. Doesn't make any sense.
It's also not right.
Not at all. Like I can't use Max. I can't watch TNT here. So,
But you use Prime.
and then they say we think they have grossly misinterpreted our contractual rights with respect to the 25-26 season and beyond, and we will take appropriate action. And then they say we look forward, however, to another great season of NBA because they do have one last season. So this is hilarious. A lot of people in the business world are talking of saying how embarrassing this is for WBD. Their stock price has gone down a little tiny bit because of this, because they've threatened legal action with the NBA and Amazon. Which I mean, if you're going to go up against anyone, some people say that this is just a ploy to get a payout to go away, essentially, to not use your contractual right to match because they apparently can't match because they can't reach the people, so they don't have the ability. So they would have to pay more to match, and they don't want to do that. So yeah, it's again, it's egg on WBD's face. They lost something they had for 40 years. They didn't think it meant anything, but then the moment they gave out their window, they had three other people ready to jump in and pounce on it, which again shows that it definitely is a valuable asset. And they just let it walk when they had an exclusive window to negotiate, but they pissed off the commissioner by saying that it didn't mean anything to them at all. And live sports is basically meaningless. And then all the streaming services have been going after live sports, Netflix with the NFL. So yeah, it's just again, please go out and watch Superman 2025 and same thing with the Batman too and Penguin and stuff because there is a chance that this could be sold and someone could want to do something different. So watch what you can right now because WBD is being run by imbeciles. It is embarrassing, but I'm just worried about the future of the DCU in a couple of years. So stuff that's filming right now, that's fine. Like Superman 2025 is going to be out. That's going to happen. But I will not be confident in
It's
anything else going
after.
forward.
Yeah, it's Supergirl. Like I'm sure it'll happen because we've got cast and everything, but after that, like we still have no idea what's going on with.
I'm not as
Raven
sure
Gold.
anymore, Joe, because they're trying to do this to get $100 million payout from Amazon, so that they'll go away, so they can use the $100 million to pay down their debts. Because that's how much their debt is so freakishly outrageous. That's what worries me. Like this could be sold, this could be pieced off, so we might not get anything. So anybody interacting. So yeah, I'm just a little worried.
I don't
know. Just because of the business decisions. Again, when you decided not to negotiate an exclusive window, and then they came out with people. You just got to walk away at that point. You got to dust your head. It doesn't help when you're the CEO of WBD and you got an employee of yours calling you an idiot on live TV.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it because he literally has a clause in his contract that he can walk away if you lose the NBA. So, and get paid 20 to 30 million from another one of the three that has the NBA. So yeah, it's just very funny to me. It just Zaslav put egg on his face, and when
but
sports and our comic book life collide for a second.
Well, yours, yes.
Yeah. Well, it might be yours if we don't get more DCU stuff. If there's like the bottom falls out of it.
We'll see.
So, before we get into the news, let's take our second and probably final ad break of the evening. Listeners, we're an ad support network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe, we got some news now. Fun stuff, as I called it in in the notes after the rant. We have a trailer, and in classic CW fashion, this was supposed to be revealed at Comic-Con SDCC on July 27th, I think. But it leaked early. It leaked early on the CW app.
Go figure. Just why?
CW app strikes one last time because people like Brett and then would tell me, like, you'd be watching an episode of something, and midway through that episode, there'd be the trailer for another show or something, like, play like 75 times. So,
yeah.
I never had access to CWC, so.
I did, but I don't ever. It was really more. It was the app. I think I only. What did I watch on there?
Stargirl.
I think it was Stargirl. I think it was.
Yes. Yeah. So let's take a little look at the trailer for season 4 of Superman and Lois. I do like the color choice too with the emblem and that. So yeah, it looks like old Soups is DEAD did,
which is so surprising to me. Like, I definitely did not see that coming. I'll be honest, I didn't see it coming.
With the final season, I'm hesitant here.
Well, he's not. He'll be dead for like 3 episodes. He'll be back by like episode. Well, so it's only gonna be 6 episodes, probably 2 episodes.
I love how they're just feeling bad for Jordan and Jonathan.
But okay, so go back real quick, because they had, John and Natasha there, which I'm shocked considering that they were not going to be. They're allegedly bumped down to what, second string?
Guest stars. I think they were only going to be. I know the coachings might not be in any episodes, so as long as we get them, I'm fine. Especially, it would make sense if Superman's gone for Steel to be involved.
He'll be around, exactly, but no, he's going to be part of something else. Not here.
We find out that Jordan is going to be the new Superman. We see Superman flying, getting flown away by Doomsday, and I gotta say,
look good.
Look great.
Really good.
Look really great. And we see the Fortress of Solitude there as well.
Yep.
I assume he'll be back charging there. And this doesn't make any sense to me.
Why not? The cape is floating in space?
It's just not on anything. It's just sitting there.
It's the moon. Like, it's space. There's no gravity.
It wouldn't just levitate.
There's no gravity. Of course it would levitate.
It wouldn't get pulled in.
It's fabric. It's like there's no weight to it. The whole reason that the astronauts were able to move around like they were, there's no gravity in space, but their suits had some weights on them. I'm talking on my ass. I have no idea.
I'm gullible, Joe. You don't do that. But yeah, so Superman's cape waving in the moon, and Lex Luthor's having a party. We saw this little clip before. Like, Superman's dead. Can we just enjoy it? And then Jordan comes to
being dumb.
Yeah, and I love how Lex just walked forward and said, like, next time you better like come at me, you better ready to kill me.
Yeah. Everybody going off on Jonathan, or Jordan. I'm sorry. Like, makes sense. Jordan did a stupid thing. He did a stupid.
I thought there's 2 possibilities that happen here.
What's that thing in the background?
This is just like they kick him into his shallow grave. either Jordan comes in to save him or he actually gets killed. One of the there's only those two options.
I mean, again, he got bumped down to second string, so he could die.
And this is what I'm confused about. Like, are they saying like Superman's gone somewhere? Like, is this Superman flying through space?
So my assumption is it's Superman after Doomsday, or it could be the fight itself in space. But we do see Lois like grabbing his hand on the back on Earth. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets thrown back to Earth, from space.
he's obviously going to kill.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight to the death for both of them.
Yeah,
now.
like he's going to die, and Doomsday's going to die as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that show, Joe. We got a lot of content coming down the pipe now.
We do. I'm kind of happy about that.
Cape Crusaders next week.
Yeah,
Penguin starts in October, not in September, sorry. And goes all the way through past Joker. We have Joker, and then we have this
October. Yeah. What's this? This is
October 17th.
Okay.
2-hour premiere, and then just go from there. It's not going to be that many. Hopefully, there's not many breaks.
Yeah, 6.
No, I meant not many breaks in the weeks. Like that second season was absolutely torture. They must have lost a lot of people.
Well, and they didn't.
That.
They had what, one break for season 3, if that.
It was really good.
Don't think they're gonna have any breaks. I mean,
no, I think they're gonna go straight through.
I think they will too.
So
that would finish out the year, and if they could have it done by the end of the year, and then they could focus on Superman 2025 from that point on.
So we have one more thing to look at here, Joe, which I watched and really thoroughly enjoyed, which was exclusive first look at 3 new villains in Cape Crusader. Whoops. There we go. Firebug, first one.
Which really thought it was going to be Firefly, but yeah.
And yeah, he's a little tad crazy, wanting to burn everything. And then we go to the Gentleman Ghost, which I'm very interested in this character, like how he does his thing, especially in the age that they're in here. And the final one is Natalia Knight, which I don't know anything.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. So I hope this is like new creation from them. And she looks like she got like Superman-esque powers. And she looks like Wednesday Addams.
Yeah.
So again, I love this kind of stuff. This is totally fantastical. And sign me up. This show, I think it's going to be great.
Okay, Nocturna.
Yeah.
She was created in the 50s. Nope, sorry. 83. I think I have that issue. She operates a criminal organization with her brother, Thief of Night, and later Nightshade, and had a operation at night because of her photosensitive skin.
Okay. So again,
we'll see.
Cool character to use. Way to draw from deep in Batman's database.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 83 was her first appearance. So yeah, that's definitely pulling some stuff.
So we got some news, Joe, from the Penguin, which apparently will bridge the gap between the Batman and the Batman 2. First off, they said Scarface is a Scarface story. It derives the power story of Oz before he really makes it to the top. Set 1 week after Pattinson's The Batman.
Nice. Which makes sense. We saw the trailer, and Gotham still looked like ruined. So
there's some really good quotes in this too. They're like, "We're in Oz's world. We're living in the underbelly of the city. Oz is a mover and shaker. He can't always be trusted. He's very smart and very methodical, but he's also extremely impulsive. You can't predict what he's going to do." And again, they say here, Reeves and Clark originally set out to chart a spin-off series focusing on Gotham City Police Department, with Boardwalk Empire creator Terrence Winter on writing duty. They also experiment with an Arkham Asylum concept. As we were writing the movie The Batman, I was like, hey, you know what? I think there's some cool shows that we could do, Reeves recalls. It was actually why I wanted to make our deal at Warner Brothers. And it said the execs at HBO offered their guidance. Essentially, they changed their mind about doing the Gotham PD thing.
Which, I mean, That's kind of sad. Like I've read a few of the Gotham Central books, which Gotham PD would have been based off of, and they were really good. So the fact they are doing, because I mean, it would have just been like a cop procedural, which fine, whatever. But it also is building up the world, and you could have had like the gang wars, the Penguin, the Falcons, the like all of them there. You know, Salvatore and
100%,
Salvatore.
Joe. Like
Yeah.
this is the biggest thing for me. It says this movie, the Batman, creates a power vacuum, and because Penguin is so underestimated, people don't really see who he is, and they
Which yeah,
say we wanted to be not in a grandiose way, but the mythic Shakespearean way. This kind of great tale.
I don't know.
Pretty.
I mean, that's a high praise, and I'm hoping that they're right. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the show.
It
They could have
says
had more, but
says that backstory for the Penguin includes Carmine's daughter Sophia Falcone, who returned to Gotham after a stint at Arkham Asylum. She adds a distinct touch of madness to the proceedings. They're two survivalists who've been immersed in worlds of duplicity, defeat, and violence, says Farrell. They're very suspicious. They also have very personally connected backstory. So I'll be interested to see that. That's
yeah.
first and foremost. And the final thing here, we are the bridge between two films, LeFranc reveals, referring to the Batman and Reeves sequel slated for 2026. We're going almost directly into the second film Matt has planned.
That has me excited because I've always wanted, um, you know, something like that where you have a film, you have a show that is important, that builds on what was there, but you don't have to see it
No.
to continue on with the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel tried that, but then that changed because everything that they did for the shows, you kind of had to watch to know what was going on with the
It made it
movies.
appointment viewing, which that's not
Yes.
what you want. You want to enhance viewing, and you want people who haven't been into the universe to be able to jump in at any point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, this does that for sure.
At least that's what they're saying. Let's see if they actually hold up, like if that actually sticks, you know?
So we got one other article from Variety. Basically, just a couple things here I wanted to talk about. Hold on, let me get down here. So they talk a little bit more about the Gotham police show. It wasn't going to be about, so it was going to be about corrupt cop, Reeve said, and it was going to be about how the worst gang in Gotham were the GCPD, and the cop was going to come across paths. He would have touched paths with Gordon, who would have been someone to measure him against, but it would have been a battle for the cop's soul. So,
Okay.
with Project Felgrave pivoted to Arkham Asylum. Speaking of Reeve said the two ideas for spin-offs were tabled once executives at HBO after guidance for the Batman universe should go in its move to television. They were like, we like what you're doing and we want to lean harder into the marquee characters, Reeve said, adding that element. So that's why the Gotham PD show got nixed for the Penguin. And I, for one, this is one of those rare occasions where I say, bravo, that is actually a smart idea. I do think the Penguin Colin Farrell's is better opportunity for critical success and mass success with general audience compared to a Gotham City PD show. I know that would do good with us, but I do think the Penguin is you have the ability to bring in more people that way.
Okay. Well, and I think that the Penguin show has been talked about being very similar to Sopranos, and I mean, everybody loves Sopranos, so so yeah, I mean, maybe that was the right decision.
So, Joe, we have a couple more news items here. An exclusive from Next Point, which is they have DC's Paradise Lost are circling in on its writers. So, Paradise Lost, we know that was a thing they talked about. Obviously, it doesn't look like Gal Gadot will reprise her role. Apparently, Nexus or Next Point News.
Nexus Point, yeah.
Nexus Point News has learned through sources that Kira Snyder and Janet Lynn are in talks to join the project. And it says Snyder is best known for being a writer and producer on Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale and the CW's 100. Lynn's writing credits include Netflix Bridgerton and Cursed and Fox's Bones.
Okay, so they got some talent behind them. That's good.
It says much is being kept under wraps about this regarding the series. During the project announcements, Gunn described the project as being similar to Game of Thrones compared to Themyscira to Westeros. And in addition, the series is set to focus on the inhabitants of the island prior to the birth of Wonder Woman.
Not sure I like that comparison, but okay.
Yeah, it's just, again, I gotta believe that to see it first. I'll
see it to believe it.
Yeah, see it to believe it. So we have everything to know about DC's next comic initiative, All In. There's a little thread here that came out, and it's the biggest initiative they've ever tried. It will be a 2024 and 2025 initiative. It's been 2 to 3 years in the making. Every continuing series in October will continue with their current and new creatives with jumping on points. Will allow creators to do every kind of story, radical, classical, all of it. All In is about reminding everyone that this medium, the comics, is where the biggest stories are told. It is about creating something that opens up the opportunity for creators to come in and do stories they want to do in the best way and biggest way possible.
Sure.
So again, they do this kind of stuff all the time. There's more.
I think more, yeah.
The panels are there. Absolute Batman will be by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragata, and it releases October 9th. So if you're a big Batman fan, I guess that is maybe the most important book for you. I think I'm going to wait till this gets to DC Universe Infinite before I check this out.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll want to see how they lay this out.
There's going to be a couple titles that I'll probably be giving, if I'm being honest. Nightwing is one I get all the time. That's just I have got every single Nightwing issue. That's just what I do.
This is what you do.
But like some of these other ones look intriguing. Because I think Tom Taylor is moving over to Batman. I think he's doing Batman at some point. So like that one, I might jump over to that. Who knows? I don't know. But then you got Tom King, over on Wonder Woman still. So I don't know. Like it's. I love my DC comics. I'm finally getting back into them again. It's been too long, and I said last week that I started reading the Legends, or I started reading back after Crisis. I'm still on Legends. I've got like one issue left from all of those, and I'll be moving on from that. So it's I don't know.
It's a lot. It's a lot show sometimes, especially new things coming.
Detective comics. Sorry.
So
it is a lot. But my whole thing is this is no different than the last couple of reboots.
There's no different.
I got to use reboots.
Or
no. See, New 52 was different because they stopped everything and started over with everyone.
There's still a new initiative though. Like some are successful. That was if they do the same thing, maybe that would be successful. Maybe that.
But the difference here is they're doing the Marvel thing of the continuity is still there. We're just starting new number ones. I mean, they're not, but they're starting new number ones.
Oh.
That's all they're doing. But there's also something that the comic companies do constantly. So I don't know why I'm upset about it.
Well, something makes me sad. A quote from Dave Bautista here saying he's too old to play Bane now, and he hasn't really found a proper place in the DC universe yet. He says, "For forever, it was Bane. When I was younger, I wanted to play Bane. It was like a dream role for me, and I got to a point in my career where I just felt like I was just too old to play Bane. I think the physicality of it at this point in my career and life, I wouldn't be able to do the character justice." And then I saw somewhere online where someone posted something of me playing Lex Luthor, an older Lex Luthor. I kind of became obsessed with that idea. Obviously, they moved on from that idea. So at this point, I'm struggling to find my place in DC Universe, but I'd really be up for anything.
Yeah, honestly, he wouldn't be a terrible Oh, what's his name?
Hugo Strange.
Yeah, like that. Hugo is older.
I think
I
he
think
could be impressive Hugo.
he could
Joe,
be really good Hugo.
a different one too, like
Yeah,
something we haven't.
I would have loved to have seen him as Bane. I think he would have been perfect. But he is right. If it had been like 10 years ago,
yeah,
he would have been
he's
great
not going to be
as
able to
Bane.
bulk up to
No, oh
Bane.
God, no. And he shouldn't have to.
No,
Like
not at this
the
age.
man has, like he's gone away from wrestling. He's retired from that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's
and
an
that took
actor
his
now.
toll on him. He had so
It
many
did.
injuries in wrestling too.
It did.
Surgeries. Apparently, DC Studios is reportedly planning to break some news at SDCC despite not having a panel.
Yeah.
We'll see.
SDCC isn't as impressive as it used to be.
Not at all. So there's new stills for the Penguin series. I think that both of them were in the article, the EW article. It's one of Penguin wearing this pretty cool. He's looked pretty cool, I gotta say, in the white
Looking
suit.
very Kingpin of him.
Yeah, and the second one is him and Sophia Falcone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still, I'm excited. We're not that far away from this now.
No, we're not. I'm so excited.
But this is where my main excitement is with DC right now. We got a new promotional image for Batman Caped Crusaders, and obviously it was paying ode or homage to Batman the Animated Series.
Nah.
Batman standing there with lightning striking behind him. I had both of them set up next to each other. It's
this original image. I don't know what you're talking about. Never seen this image before.
It's nice. I can't wait. I can't wait to start watching this show. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So the final thing we talk about before we get out of here, James Gunn got gifted a comic, Joe.
Yeah.
Superman number 167, it looks like. From the February number 167 over.
Yes.
Of Lex Luthor and Brainiac teaming up to take down Superman.
Superman's in a little cage, little bird cage.
The one thing I will say, that makes me a little curious about Brainiac.
I mean, I know people immediately were like, Brainiac confirmed.
No, not confirmed. It just makes me curious. Like that could be potentially like a villain down the line that Lex.
I mean, possibly.
With. Yeah.
Let's. But
I'm sure Gunn laid out some plans for Lex to halt like where he goes past this movie.
I mean, there's also a very good possibility Brainiac is in here.
Yeah, it could be.
Somewhere.
It very well could be.
So. I mean, even if it's just a little snippet. Like if we see the dots.
Oh, we see the 3 dots. We know. We see the 3 dots. We know immediately. So, again.
Or it could be like Brainiac in Smallville and, be whatever. The one guy, I can't remember what his name was. James Masters. What I can't remember the name he took in the show. Like his fake name.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be that. Maybe we'll see that.
Okay. So
what was his name?
Again, I think this is such a cool gift. Anyway, it looks like a pretty pristine issue. So props to him. And yeah, I can't wait to see what your Lex Luthor is going to be like. I wish we were getting something from SDCC, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
I think there was wait, hold on.
Dr. Milton Fine. There we go.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get Dr. Milton Fine in Superman.
Hold on here. I think Peter Safran spoke about why they weren't there. Oh well, it's not here. Essentially, he said they want to get everything perfect and right before they show the world. So, again, I wish Superman was there. Superman 2025. There will be no SDCC for the film ever, but we have a lot of cons. So we'll get our taste. It's less than a year now until it's here. So finally, Joe, we have our Smallville retro recap for this week. Season 5, episode 2, Mortal. What do you remember about this fantastic episode?
Not much, honestly. I watched it for this, obviously, but did not remember anything from this episode.
I remember one feeling that I remembered having. this is bullshit. Watching a Superman show where he has no powers. I remember thinking that, and
Really?
I was like, "How long am I watching this goddamn show until he doesn't have powers again? Is he going to get his powers back? This makes no sense to me."
I mean, back then, 22 episodes, they could have easily stretched it out for like
Oh
4
yeah,
episodes.
oh yeah. I'm
But
glad
I
they
mean,
didn't.
it's only
Next
one. Like
episode. Next
yeah, he
episode.
gets it back next episode. So
But I mean,
one
like
and a half probably.
him hammering. Oh my god,
That was annoying. He kept hammering the same nail. The same nail. Like,
give
dude,
it a smack, dude.
Yeah,
Give it
if
a
you
smack,
can't get it in, you suck.
Is it when you're using the hand all the time?
True.
I'd play it on yours.
But yeah.
But yeah, it was the freaks of the week. The only thing I enjoyed about that was Lex banging into them to basically unlock their arms.
The
I'm
one
not
guy's,
sure.
yeah.
I do think he did that on purpose because he was watching.
Well, he did.
Closed circuit. So
yeah, he 100% did on purpose.
And then Clark makes him pay with a 1-2 piece.
Which is another thing. Like, you have been testing Clark out for 4 years already, and every time that you finally test him out and like get super close, he bleeds or he does something that is very human, because at that point in time, he has lost his powers.
I will say,
stop, dude.
No, I'm sorry. I will say in Lex's defense, any rational person, especially a rich person like Lex, would be like, dude, you're around everything. You're around everything, every bad thing, every good thing, every person that can save you. You're there. You're always in the house. You saved me like 75 times. Like, no,
well, he's knocked out. He was knocked out for like 70 of those.
Especially if he's seen meteor freaks and some of them with their abilities. So again, nothing should be rolled out. He's literally experimenting on meteor freaks right now. So he definitely.
But as rich as Lex is, he would have been smarter about hiding it better.
Yeah.
Like, he should have been hiding it. Like, I don't know.
Again, it's the villains, the two Wonder Twins that charge out the force fields, and the guy from Sons of Anarchy that blows up.
Yeah, that was just kind of
blah. It was just a very meh episode, like showing that Clark could be the hero even though he doesn't have powers. Yeah, and I'm sorry, that's not an episode I need to learn in season 5.
Exactly. Yeah, not a great episode for an episode 2 of
season 1 or 2. Whenever he switched powers with that kid with the lightning, that was the only time I needed to learn the lesson that Clark was still a hero even if he didn't have his powers. Yeah, you didn't need to beat me over the head with it multiple times, and yeah,
it's like once a season.
Yep.
And I am almost positive we're gonna get a few more of those before the show's ended.
100%, and yeah, classic CW. WB, UPN, whatever we're calling this.
Yeah, I think by this point they were CW. I think by season 5 they were CW. I could be wrong.
Regardless, again, this is an average episode. We got some good episodes coming up. In a couple episodes, Aquaman shows up, and that's a great episode. So
yes. Actually, I think it is next episode.
I think it's the 4th episode.
No, yeah, you're right.
Next episode is like the nuclear bombs and stuff where he gets his powers back. The kid in the silo. The guy, I think he was.
I read the synopsis. I read the synopsis, and it just says that he dies, and then Jor-El like takes over somebody and revives him. So,
oh my god, who's the guy's name? He's essentially Gabriel Duncan is the name of the, but he's an actor that I've seen in several things. I think Johnny Lewis. He's in the one I remember is Sons of Anarchy in the OC. I think he died, though. I think he's dead.
Oh, wow. Well.
Yeah, 2012, yeah. So, yeah, again, I do enjoy Smallville, but these couple episodes are tough. I can't wait for the Aquaman episode.
Yeah, Alan Richardson. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Okay, Joe, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to get a good rest and be ready for Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow. Again, remember, guys, Marvel Alliance is going live tomorrow night at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Time to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. Please go and check them out. Thank you for joining us on Thursday, especially Icky in the chat. Joe, I will see you next Friday for some discussion on Caped Crusaders.
Yes, sir.
Wonder how many episodes we'll both get to watch.
Yeah, we'll definitely see.
And you too, listeners. See you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.